Welcome to the Essence of Homeschooling podcast, brought to you by the umbrella school, Start Academy. We empower and equip you to cultivate the authentic homeschool lifestyle where freedom and relationships rule.
Last time we talked about the lifestyle of homeschooling and how that applies to the program that you choose, or really that you are the best program for your family and for your children's education. Today, we'd like to touch on some of those lesser known benefits of homeschooling that aren't necessarily curriculum based. Kim, you're the one who has had kids out of the house the longest. What benefits have you seen now that both your boys are married, right?
Yes. Yeah. They both
So,
graduated from college and both married within the last year and a half. I can definitely say that the relational benefits are huge, or they have been huge for us because we're blessed to have so much time together. And I was able to learn who they were as individuals. And we just got a lot of time together just to talk and do life together. And so now that they're really launched into adulthood, they're full adults, it's a lot of fun. We just tonight we had my son and daughter-in-law here that live in town over for dinner, and we just hung out and had a good time. And my other son that lives out of the country, we Zoom them for at least once a week, if not more, sometimes multiple times. And really, I think that it just has been such a huge blessing that we have so many years of life experience together, sharing things and knowing who each other is as a person, to where I do feel that we have a deeper relationship maybe than may have otherwise been. I don't know because we never didn't homeschool. So obviously I can't totally speak to that. But just comparing to maybe other things that I see around me, I'm very happy with where we are in our relationships.
would you say that your boys have really become friends, possibly due to homeschooling, due to learning how to work out differences because they were each other's classmates as well?
I think, to be honest, I think they were pretty normal in a lot of ways where sometimes they were best of friends, other times, not so much. But I think that's perfectly normal. And because I had them so close, I could keep a better eye on that. Not that I didn't miss things, I did miss things for sure over the years. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But once I was able to figure it out, then I could stop and go, wait a second, we need to have a conversation about this and help them figure out how to reconnect as brothers. And so now, as adults, there are things that they had carried from the past that they're working through, and that's fine. We all do that. And they're working those things out as adults who love and respect each other. And their friendship for sure is on a much better and deeper level, I believe.
And that's the goal of homeschooling, right? Deeper
Hmm.
friendships between our children and between ourselves and our children.
Yes.
And I fully agree. I don't know about you two, but I see online a lot, especially in this past summertime, the videos that say 18 summers, right?
Mm,
You have 18 summers with your children, and it feels like such pressure. You only have 18 summers. What are you going to do? Cram in every minute. And it makes me sad to think that some people have that pressure of I have to cram in the summertime what homeschool families get to have all year long, of that relationship and that slower pace, the summertime pace, right? The we can actually talk to each other. We're not rushing out the door to school and to this and to that. And so I feel that homeschooling, one of the major benefits sheer number of hours you have with your children, and therefore what the relationship turns into due to that time together. Especially when you are doing life together on your own schedule. You're not directed by a school schedule, whether that's a daily schedule or a monthly schedule or calendar, meaning holidays. You can celebrate your family's milestones together when you want to. And you can cultivate that relationship that then leads to our children being our friends, not just our children. And another aspect of the 18 summers is after those 18 summers, your child goes off to college or maybe the military or maybe a job, but they have grown up. And my daughter's getting ready to go off to college. And when I see those 18 summers online, I think I'm so blessed because yes, I had 18 summers, but I had all that extra time and I don't feel like I missed out. I feel like, yes, she grew up too fast, but I was there for every minute and I got to spend so much quality time with her. And because of that, we're actually friends. So I am, in a way, dreading her to go off to college because I'm going to miss her dearly. But in another way, I'm so happy for her and I'm so happy for the journey we've been on and the journey that she gets to continue on.
It's really sweet.
That is beautiful. It is a gift, those relationships of building friendships that last a lifetime.
Mhm.
Yes.
And even though all my kids are so very different, and I still have 3 at home at the moment, like Stacy, I'm taking one off to college as well. And one is married and another is in a career. And so the age difference is rather large, but they have really learned the value of family. And when my son got married this past weekend, extended family was in town, but all my kids wanted time with that family because they understand the blessing and really how short of a time you get in those moments. And so we created extra moments to do that. So it was a jam-packed weekend, but it was full of love and laughter and crazy stories and just the time together, that freedom to have time and to slow your schedule down so that you can enjoy the moments of life that you need to.
Mhm.
Are you looking for a supportive community to walk with you through your homeschooling journey? Look no further. Start Academy is your go-to umbrella school for fulfilling legal reporting requirements in Colorado. But what if you don't live in Colorado? We still serve you through our support tools and services. At Start Academy, we're not just another institution. We're your partners in education, providing comprehensive support services designed to empower, encourage, and equip you to be the best homeschool parent that your children deserve. Teacher and student IDs, parent and professional evaluations, attendance logs, record-keeping services, DIY high school transcripts, or our official homeschool high school transcript service produces personalized transcripts that highlight your students' unique accomplishments. High school diplomas celebrate your family's achievement when you successfully complete the adventure. Additionally, our experienced homeschool coaches provide one-on-one support throughout your journey. Custom tailor your homeschool support system by selecting one of our 3 enrollment packages based on your family's needs. This way, you can get exactly what you need to make the most of your homeschooling experience. We come alongside you in the way you want to be supported, whether that's the bare minimum or holding your hand each step of the way. The Umbrella School Start Academy provides what you want the way you want it. So why wait? Enroll with Start Academy today and unlock a world of possibilities for your homeschooling journey. Go to theumbrellaschool.com to learn more and sign up. We can't wait to serve your family.
I think I'd also add the other benefit on the flip side of the enjoyment is those hard times and those difficulties. I know when my dad was in the hospital and then dying, is we had to shuffle some things about how we were going to school. and what really mattered. And that time being there with my father really mattered and could never be replaced. It couldn't be gotten back. Whereas some of that learning time, you can catch back up in those things, but you can't catch back up in a relationship. So it's really balancing those hard times, those difficulties, and navigating what the true priority is and what can then be made up educationally later. And Kim, I know this is why you homeschooled in the first place, is because things were not easy at home.
It was a big part. We didn't necessarily start out like that, but my goodness, it certainly became part of our story when our kids were just in lower elementary and my husband first got his brain cancer. And we certainly thought, are we going to send him back to school or are we going to keep him home? And it was a very short conversation that I had with myself. And I thought, no, I need to keep him home because I need to keep an eye on their hearts. I need to have the freedom to be in this season with them and with their dad. And we need to be able to soak up this time together as a family because we really didn't know how much time we would have, quite frankly. And so to have that freedom to do that was just priceless. And you're right, there were some areas that from the outside looking in, maybe it looked like, oh my goodness, they really fell behind in such and such a subject. But in the long run, they made it up quite quickly when their minds, their little brains were ready to do that. Because when you have a kid in crisis, their minds can't soak up information really very well anyway. And I learned that back when I was teaching in the classroom, and I would have kids come through my classroom who were going through some sort of family trauma or whatever it was. And I learned over time that I just really needed to slow down and give them a break because otherwise you're just hurting their heart more on top of everything. So fast forward to my own kids, we were able to do that and really work at their own pace. And that was when we were able to draw in grandparents as well and other family members. They had some big cousins that came alongside and really took them under their wing and other people from our church and stuff. And so it does come together, even if it doesn't look like school in the moment, don't worry because their hearts are the most important thing. The academics will catch up later. I 100% believe in that and can speak to that.
And Stacy, how about with life changes like moving? How does
Mm.
homeschooling work with that? What's one of those benefits there?
I think, like Kim said, when you have hard times in your life, whether it's financial or health or moving or any crisis that might hit a family, flexibility is key.
Yeah.
So for us, even though moving is always hard, right? There's always a lot of work to do. There's always something that needs to get done. And it seems like it'd be easier to send your kids off to school for the day. For us, we found the opposite, that having that time together and the flexibility to get done what we need to get done, but then also be able to focus on their schooling and the time and the way that they need to. It seems like we got more done in less amount of time, which isn't possible, but it seems like it, right? It seems like we were able to get everything done and it just happened in the way it needed to happen. And therefore, the kids were involved in the move. They were involved in the family. They were involved in the decisions. And again, that contributed to what we're saying, relationships and also legacy building. It's a blessing to be able to leave a legacy to your children, to their future children, on of this relationship and family bond that we've created.
So good.
And it is, and enjoying all those little things of life together, those unexpected moments, they happen out of the blue. That's why they're unexpected. But when you're together, it allows you the privilege of having those, whether it's in the hard times or it's just the total laughter that comes from reading a silly book together. It's interesting because my family has developed some of its own language based upon the books we've read. And so certain jokes that will happen or statements that will be said and repeated, and just there's such delight in that. And there's memories from that time together.
So true.
There's one lesser known benefit of homeschooling that I don't think we've talked about yet. And that is more a benefit for us as the homeschooling parents.
Mm.
I don't know about you two, but I have learned a lot homeschooling my children that I was not taught in school. So I think there's another benefit to us that we get to keep learning because we were in school a long time ago and I haven't really sat down and learned since college. Of
Mhm.
course, I've learned on the job and I've learned how to do skills, but it's different. And I really enjoyed going back and reading classics that I didn't get to read in high school or redoing some of the things that I did in high school, but maybe I didn't do so well.
Fair.
Have you seen that meme? It's something like, "My child, I love you so much. I'm willing to relearn algebra for you."
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, but it's so true. It's so true.
It is so true. And you learn things that you suddenly discover that you're capable at that you never realized before. And that's how I stumbled my way into writing my own curriculum. Is it was the whole time that training going on through the elementary years and realizing how I enjoyed using literature to teach cross curriculum.
Mm,
So I would use it for history and for art and for science and any subject. So you cover your English credit with every other subject. And I loved how that happened. And one of my sons even said, somebody asked him what your mom does for fun. He goes, "Oh, she reads books and writes curriculum." And I thought about it. I thought, oh, maybe I do. Okay. I do like seeing how they fit together. So we get the delight directed learning and get to enjoy our passions, and our kids get that same bonus. And as we've known watching our kids, and we hear this in schools and with any education, that if the teacher is delighted to learn, the student will be more delighted to learn. So it is funny that my daughter and then some of the other students I've had, they're like, okay, what are we doing next? What books? And so they're just excited because they are excited about it, but also because hopefully I've shown them that there is delight in learning. And so they can enjoy and follow their passions in the way that they would like to.
Yeah, and isn't it fun to have that time where you actually get to do that for yourself? Things that you maybe wouldn't necessarily have a chance to do otherwise in life. It's a good example for our kids too, I think. We love learning. That's just who we are as a family. We love to learn.
So you may start homeschooling due to wanting a flexible schedule, the ability to customize your child's learning. Maybe your child needs reduced distractions than a classroom is providing, or maybe you're interested in a safe learning environment. Those are all reasons that people start homeschooling. But we hope we've shown you that reasons to continue homeschooling can be the relational reasons, the legacy building reasons, the delight directed learning, the ability to fill in your own knowledge gaps, and the ability to grow with your children through the years, through the hard times, through the difficulties, through the freedom, and get out of that I only have 18 summers rat race mentality that a lot of us struggle with. We hope that you've seen the many relational benefits to homeschooling to you and your children.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed the conversation and found it insightful. Be sure to check out today's show notes for all applicable links and additional resources. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. Your support helps us continue to bring you great content. Until next time, happy homeschooling.